It's less clearly defined than it used to be, right? Because the series used to be a sequence of individualized episodes, each of which existed to sort of reiterate these conflicts that were set up around a theme. Now that we're moving into the streaming age and we have so many 6 hour and 8 hour and 10 hour series that tell one single story across that length, sometimes they begin to feel like long movies. One thing about a TV series, it is, long or short, it's really always defined by its theme. The theme is always the organizing principle of a TV series. The theme will define what the story is about and what the characters are about. And once you understand what that is, as you're working on it, that's when it becomes sort of easier to create and to develop the series. Every series must have a theme.
And what is theme?
Okay, that's a good question, because I know when we're kids in school, high school or below, right, we have to write that term paper on, a theme like ambition in Macbeth, and we're taught that ambition is a theme, and to some extent it is, but it's not the kind of theme that's useful to us in creating stories, because it's just a concept. You say theme, and I say, well, what about it? Your ambition. Is it good? Is it bad? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Right? A theme that can power a TV series is a dialectic. It's an opposition. It's two opposing concepts and the war between them. Sometimes they're best phrased as a question, at least in my mind, so you know that you're arguing over these 2 points. So, for instance, The Walking Dead, if you just look at it from the outside, what's it about? Oh, well, it's about zombies. Or more specifically, it's about a group of, plucky heroes trying to survive in a time when Atlanta is overrun by zombies. But you can't really tell a story based on that. It's very shallow. It's just people running around. It has to express an idea. And the idea of The Walking Dead, if you watch as many as 2 episodes, you'll see a common theme, which is sort of a question of, in a time of danger, in a time of crisis, is it enough to save yourself and your immediate family, or are you obligated as a member of the human race to save society for everybody? And this turns out to be an argument that is, even if not articulated, is sort of lived out by the characters through every episode. So the advantage of having a duality like this is you have one character who believes in this one idea of it, you have another character who believes in this other idea, and they're both acting, not just talking, but acting out those beliefs. And that gives you the conflict that then turns into the stories that then turns into episode after episode. The dilemmas illustrate the theme. There are 4 sort of crucial elements to what we call the franchise of a television show. The franchise is the core of the show. It's the thing that defines it, that tells you the difference, between Law and Order and NYPD Blue, to choose 2 old shows that are on at the same time. They were both, homicide cops in New York solving murders, and yet very different. So, the elements we need are, first, the concept, right? What is this actually about on a plot level? So in The Walking Dead, it's the band of plucky survivors who are trying to find a safe place to live in a zombie apocalypse. That's your concept. And then you have your central conflict and your theme. And those two are really tightly interconnected. The central conflict exists to express the theme. So in The Walking Dead, the theme is, is it enough? Do I save myself and my family? Do I have to save everybody? And then the conflict comes down to, you have this group of people, and there are 2 potential leaders, and one of them saying, look, we can just run over there and sacrifice everyone, and the other one's saying, no, we got to build a town over here. So that becomes the conflict, which is expressing the theme. And then the fourth, of course, is the characters who exist also to embody the theme. And you'll find that, especially in sort of a single lead show, which, a main character and then a bunch of supporting characters, that in a well-designed show, that single lead is torn between sort of the two poles of the dialectic. So, my favorite example and one of my favorite shows is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and her theme and her dilemma is always, can I live to be the person I want to be, or do I have to be the person the world needs me to be? So that's her. She's torn between the two. One thing we do very badly in TV, and in fact in any filmed media, is express inner thoughts. Right? We don't do the voiceovers or the long monologues. So in order to get to that inner conflict, it has to be sort of made in external, so you're giving her a choice, but also you have this group of characters over here who represent this life that she wants to lead, who are saying, come with us, be one of us, don't be that. And you have this set of characters over here who represent the life she's obligated to lead, who are saying, no, you have to come do this or the world will come to an end. So we're using the characters to enact the central conflicts, which then illuminates or illustrates the theme. You can't really change the theme of a show because the theme is the organizing principle of the show. The theme then defines what the show is about. So if you change the theme, you change the show. I can think of, in all of TV history, I can think of one TV show where they changed the theme, and that was this cop show called The Closer, where they realized a couple of seasons in that what they had started with was kind of shallow and was running out of gas. And they sort of went back and looked at the character and said, what have we done with her? What's more interesting? And they managed to come up with something else. Aside from that, no, because usually you change the theme, you change the storytelling, you change the focus, and then you're just not the same show anymore. And either your audience goes away or you just don't know how to write it. As for sub-themes, there are, in the same way there are sub-conflicts that are smaller parts of the main conflict, you can have sort of junior versions of the theme, I suppose, but they're all related to the main thing. They're all illustrating that main theme, just maybe in a slightly different way.